Welcome to my workbench. Today we are going to be dyeing these knife scales. What do the three storms think? They'll keep it to themselves. All right, so I've taken these apart. These are two Ozark Trail 997 slide locks. Note that I do keep track of where the screws go in each one because I have had some interesting results when I tried to mix the screws from the middle to the end. So I specifically keep the ends on the ends because they can be different. At least I've seen that before. We're going to be using red. So I've used the red before on this guy and come up with a pretty good color, and I've never done red on the OD green version, so we'll see what that looks like. And I marked it here today because I'm going to use this red and then I'm going to reuse the red. Hey, there's a fly. By adding some daffodil yellow, and then I'm going to dye a different knife orange. And I have my setup ready to go for dyeing, including my magic stirring stick, which you can see has been through a lot of dyes and paints, so exciting stuff. And one of the things you want to be able to do is dunk these down, and I like to use like some old heavier gauge wire, and it seems to work pretty good for multiple uses. Alexa, set a 30-second timer. Yeah, so the reason I do that is because if I've never used a dye before, like the OD green, I just want to check it after 30 seconds to make sure I understand if it's doing anything crazy. The orange ones I have no concern. Done those many times. So here you can see beautiful sky, beautiful day here. Alexa, stop. All right, so let's see what we got here going. Now this is the OD green, and look, it's already pretty red. That's cool. Wow, let's just give it a quick check here in our dip here. Wow, turned maroon fast. Well, let's give it a little time. These I know can go a while, these orange ones, and they'll turn, you know, like right now it's kind of a cool color if you wanted sort of a reddish pink, but I'm making that one red. Check back. All right, it's been about another minute, and wow, that's pretty red. I think that red takes over the OD green just as easily as it takes over the orange. So actually I may stop these. Let's do that, see what they look like. And this is why it's important to stop and check them after dunking most of the dye off of them and then letting them dry for a second. You can really see the color that they're going to actually be, not when they're covered with dye. So interesting. This actually, the OD green actually turned out to be about what I expected, which was maroon, and now it only took about 90 seconds to get to that color. And I let this go for about 2 minutes, and that one I think turned out great actually. And this is the original red one I did, and this one's just a shade, I'd say more on the cherry side, which is exciting. And the person I made those for will probably appreciate that. Now, this is one that I made that was the closest thing I could get to, ooh, I got some dye on me. The closest thing I could get to purple, and it turned out kind of a dark purple. And this one was with the orange using blue and red dye. So I guess the OD green and the red dye will also yield sort of a maroon, a lighter purple. So now I have a dark purple and a light purple. That's exciting. And I'll be definitely excited to see what my friend thinks of the red knife that I'm building for him. Cool. All right, so like I said, I want to reuse the red and I'm going to make an orange. So to do that, I'm going to add some yellow, and what I'm going to be dyeing here is these Tenable Kryo scales, which is kind of a grayish, boring micarta, which is fine, but you know, it's not my thing. So I'll be mixing that in and then checking on how orange it is before I drop them in for a short amount. And this is where we live and learn together. You cannot add equal parts daffodil yellow and race car red and expect anything but red to be the outcome. So at this point, I'm probably just going to eyeball and dump a bit more yellow in and see just how orange I can make this, saving a little bit of this back. I mean, if at the end of the day I end up dyeing these scales a little more red, that's fine. But let's stir it up and see what we get. Alexa, set a 30-second timer. By the way, I'm sorry if you're at home and this is making your device do that as well, but at least you can timer along at home. So, you know, I ended up dumping pretty much the rest of that yellow bottle in here, which was probably about 2/3 of the bottle. And I'm not sure it really oranged up anything, but we're gonna give it a shot and we'll take a look and see. But with these micarta scales, I think it'll be 30 seconds and done. So, Alexa, stop. Be right back. Everybody, hey, my buddy's back. Hey, man, you doing okay? All right. Give everybody one more soak before I dry them out. I think it's gonna be good. Here's the drying factory I set up. Basically, set a fan 90 degrees and let those things dry out. You can see the micarta drying out pretty quickly. Man, that thing's gonna turn reddish. Don't see much orange there, but we'll see shortly what's up. All right, Chewy's here to inspect the results, and I think he's happy. So basically, what it comes down to is if you have the OD green or the, whatever that is, blaze, really bright orange Ozark Trail Slide Lock, and you dye it in this racing red synthetic red dye more, these are the colors you can achieve. You got kind of a burgundy and really bright red, which I love. And if you leave it in this longer, I know that color will turn darker red like that one, which is fine. So then, as we learned, and what we should have done is started with yellow and added red if you want to get to orange, but what you're basically going to do by adding a bunch of yellow is pink it up a little bit. So I mean, it's fine, it's cool with it. Chewy's cool with it, and it looks a heck of a lot better than the original just sort of black and white gray micarta. So, and it's a big manly knife. It doesn't mind a little pinkish color. It's beautiful. So yeah, I'm a big fan of making it your own and trying to try different stuff, especially with these Ozark trails, because they're cheap. I mean, cheap but functional, $9.97. I mean, this thing is, I mean, great action on these. I'm really excited about this one. I hope my friend likes it, and I hope you like this video. If you did, smash it, do the thing. Take care, everybody. Bye.